everyone, today I'm going to show you how to create this really easy one shadow smoky eye, and the first thing we're doing as always to kickstart any makeup look is adding a primer. So I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Eyeshadow Primer on a double-ended brush that came with the Urban Decay Naked Cyber palette, and I'm blending that primer and the eye area into the skin anywhere that I'll be adding shadow, and this will just help the shadow to go on nice and smoothly, blend nice and easily and last all day long as well. I'm now taking this black eyeshadow. It's from the customized collection from Primark / Penneys years ago. It was literally €1, so it just goes to show you that you don't need to spend a fortune on products to get a decent finish. I've picked up this shadow now on a shadow liner brush from Smashbox. This brush is really old, has really stood the test of time, but any small pencil style of brush will do. I'm using a brush like this because I want to be quite precise with my eyeshadow application initially. I'm starting on that outer edge of the eye, drawing a little line outwards, kind of like continuation on from my lash line, and then I'm feathering the shadow inwards from that point. So I'm going to extend that line outwards little by little, aiming towards the tail of the brow as a guide, and a shape like this is just going to help elongate the eyes and give the eyes a nice lift. So as I pull that line upwards and outwards, I then flick and blend my shadows inwards from that point. You don't want to go beyond that line, and the blending right now doesn't have to be perfect. We're just getting down the guidelines first. So I'm picking up a Coastal Scents blending brush. This is the BR 250, and I'm lightly softening around the edges of the look now. And I always build my shadows up in light layers, and that's, I suppose, a tactic that's really particularly important for this look, being that it's a one shadow look. We still want a bit of dimension. I don't want the look to appear flat. So as you can see now, we've got a nice grey smoky appearance, which is exactly what I want. When you add the black with a light hand and really smoke it out, you'll get a grey finish. So I can now build on that and apply with a slightly heavier hand, not smoke it out as much, and the shadow then will be darker in parts, lighter in other areas, and I'll have a nice gradient, and then it looks like we've used multiple shades. So really the key to this look is layering. Black can be a very hard colour to work with. It's very easy to go overboard, so just take your time with it. It doesn't matter how many layers you have to do, it takes as many as it takes, and it's just much easier to start with a little amount of shadow and build up from there than it is to load it onto the eyes and then try and blend it back down. So the way I like to do it is just to start with a little bit on my brush, on the pencil style of brush, tap off the excess well, apply some with this brush, blend as I go, try and blend it a good bit with that pencil brush, and then I pick up a fluffy blending brush and soften the remaining edges with that brush, and just that way I've more control over how the shadow looks. So as you can see now, I'm still just building up that black, keeping it predominantly on that outer portion of the eye, flicking and sweeping when it comes to the lid area. Just about halfway across the lid is coated. The remaining half now is nice and bare. It's nice and light and bright, and that's because initially I coated my lids with a bit of foundation when I was doing my base prior to priming the eyes, just to cover up any discoloration on the lids. So that's why that portion is now nice and neutral. So I'm taking an angled brush now, I'm dipping it into that shadow once again, and I'm just going to pack and press this shadow right in at that lash line to define that area. The aim is for the shadow to be darkest at this point and then fade gradually out to nothing the closer to the brow bone that you get. So once I've lined along that lash line, I'm going to go in then with a second layer of this black. This time again, I'm just going to press and smoke and sweep that shadow upwards slightly, pressing the brush in at that lash bed and then flicking upwards to diffuse the edges, and you'll almost get like a smoky liner appearance. And again, I'm just keeping everything to that outer half of the eye. So to make sure now that everything is nice and soft and blended, just to be sure, I'm going back in with that fluffy brush again, and I'm just running over the edges of the look. So I've then added some of the Ardell lashes, the 109s, and adding that black shadow in at the lash bed is going to help to conceal the band of lashes. I'm then just pressing this and wriggling this right in at that lash bed just on the outer corner of the eye. I'm applying it with the angled brush, and then I'm going back in with my shadow liner brush from Smashbox, and I'm sweeping along the shadow just to blur out those edges and give us a nice smoky feel. Again, just keeping it about halfway across the lash line, keeping everything to that outer edge. I'm not lining the waterline in any way, shape or form. I'm leaving that nice and neutral. I've added some mascara, and that's it. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you found it helpful and easy to follow. If you did, do let me know, and I'll catch you all really soon.